my first thought was, holy crap, I can't believe what I just got. This particular camera trap was set in February and we're now in the middle of April, and the initial plan and goal for this camera trap was a log going across the swamp, preferably a mossy log with a raccoon walking across it under the stars or the moonlight. That was the plan, that was the goal. And so I set the camera trap up on this log maybe about 100 yards down from where the beaver dam was, and I left it. I'd come in about once a week to check it and see if anything crossed it, and 1 week turned into 2, 2 weeks turned into 3, 1 month turned into 2, and now, you know, it's a little over 2 months from the initial deployment, and hadn't got a whole lot of action at this particular trap. And so not every camera trap is successful in general, but definitely not every camera trap is successful in one particular species that I'm after. But I did succeed in capturing a couple of photos of other animals that I'm very happy with. And so raccoon going across the log, didn't quite get, but I got something even more special. Like I mentioned, the initial plan was to get a raccoon walking across this log. Within the first couple of weeks, I actually had a raccoon walk across the log, and like with any camera trap, you know, when you first deploy it, you don't have everything exactly perfect. So the sensor, the delay on it had been moved. Problem on my part that I didn't check it. Well, anyways, the photo that I was able to get was just the back half of the raccoon walking across the log. He had already walked most of the log. And so after going through those, getting it dialed in the way I needed to, we went a long time and never saw another raccoon. However, one afternoon I came in and checked the camera trap, and like always, I always check the trail camera first, and I hit the playback button, and when I first saw the animal, I'm like, wait a minute, what was that? And I had to play it again because you're viewing it on a small screen, and my first thought was, holy crap, I can't believe what I just got. I just immediately went to the back of the camera, and lo and behold, I was able to get 2 or 3 photographs on the log under the stars at night, and I was super excited. So after getting home and enlarging the photo on the computer and looking at the trail camera video, pretty much confirmed it was a long-tailed weasel, and they are very, I mean extremely rarely seen. They're pretty much common all over North Carolina. However, you just don't see them. I've never seen one. I've been in the woods, I've had cameras in the woods for 20 years. I've never seen or photographed or heard of anyone seeing and photographing a long-tailed weasel. And so I was ecstatic. Now, the photo, you know me, I'm always critiquing. I am my own worst critic. I was set up for a wider shot with a larger subject, the raccoon, and so when this little bitty, 12 to 15 inch weasel come across the log, obviously he is very small within the frame. However, it is exactly what I was after. An animal in its environment at night and you can see the sky. That is what I was after. That's where I want my camera trap images to go in the future. I want to, if it's the morning and it's the sunrise, if it's midday, or if it's at night, I want to see what natural available light is there instead of a studio style portrait. And so the images that I was able to get, I only got about 3. The reason for that, this little guy is really fast, so when he shot in front of the camera, it would take one photo, and then the shutter speed was really long, up to like 30 seconds. And so he passed in front of the camera multiple times during that one exposure, so I was only able to get just the one. And so I got just a couple frames, but the one was all I needed and that I was able to capture, and I am super excited about it. That's exactly what I was after for the style of camera trap photography that I'm after. As far as the raccoons go, I did have 2 more raccoons venture in front of the camera, and I got the weasel, and so I changed my composition up just a little bit, and I should always just leave it, and by doing that I put the tree on more of an angle, and so that made it where when the raccoons walked in, they triggered the camera pretty quickly, and they were slightly out of focus. I was able to get some really awesome color in the sky, but they're slightly out of focus, and so unfortunately I won't be able to use any of those. And so now the leaves are starting to come back. We're in spring. We're heading into summer really quickly, so the leaves are covering up what available light. I won't be able to capture many stars and moonlight at all anymore now. I'll have to put this idea on the back burner until next fall and next winter. And so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the camera trap here for a little while longer, just to see what crosses it. I was able to capture a couple of beavers that actually live here. Obviously we photographed them on the dam and when they crawled up under the fence, but I actually got them crossing this log right in front of the camera, so that was really cool. Probably the only good photo I got the young beaver on the log. You can see its tail and you can see the sky. It's early morning light. And you can see the trees and the leaves. It's just a beautiful photograph, and this green log is what sells this. It is perfect, absolutely perfect. The color of the environment mixed in with the natural light and the artificial light just makes for a beautiful photograph. And so all in all, this camera's been up for over 2 months. Now I got like 2 images that I'm really happy with. The long-tailed weasel and the beaver. And so I decided not to make a video of me coming in every day or every week of this camera trap because I knew the success rate was going to be pretty low. When you have a log going across the swamp, you would think a lot of animals use it, and they do, but there's a lot of other options for them in this area, so I knew it was going to be a pretty low success rate. And so after 2 months of deployment, 2.5 months of deployment, and 2 images, it's in its final week here. I'm going to start focusing on other animals. And so last week I came in, I was almost ready to make this video, and we've got some new subjects. In this swamp last year I was able to photograph a lot of wood ducks, and I have not been able to do it this year yet. And we have one hen that has had 16 baby wood ducks, and they swim right along in this area right in front of my camera trap. Now obviously it's not set for them, so they'd have to really be right in front of the sensor for it to trigger the camera. So I've got them all around it, and man, I've enjoyed getting these videos and watching these little ducks. I'm going to try to come in later this week and set up in my ground blind and see if I can get some photos and some video of these guys swimming around in the duckweed and resting on this log, because this log they actually do use, they don't use it right in front of my camera. So there's a lot of animals in here. I'm super excited about this particular camera trap that I was able to get, and it just goes to show you when it comes to camera trapping, they're not all successful in their intended purpose. You do get a lot of bycatch. So you'll photograph squirrels and possums and other animals unintended, but hey, that's part of it, and that's what makes it so fun. You never know what you're going to get. And so like I said, this particular camera is going to be here for probably about 1 to 2 more weeks, and then I'm going to pull it out and we're going to focus on different animals in the swamp. The last time that you saw me, March is just a really bad time of year for this particular area. Not a lot happening, but spring's here. Everything's turning green, animals are having their babies, so they're starting to get out to feed them, to protect them, moving around. There's a lot of great subjects coming up that I can't wait to start camera trapping, and who knows, I may try to figure out a way to camera trap these wood ducks. So. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends about me. I just want to say again, thank you so much for all the great comments, all the people that I have met by creating these videos. Just thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to show you what's coming up next. So hope you guys have a great one. Until next time, we'll see you.